Peace, love, and blessings. It's your girl, Zia the Begum, back at it again with another episode. To my sisters in Islam, this episode is for you. This topic developed based on conversations I was having with my ukhtis and also a family member. And it hit me that I should talk about this on my podcast. Now, this topic is kind of broad, and part of the conversation also includes our Muslim brothers as well. Akis, I will get to you next episode, inshallah, and I will hype y'all up. But today, it's about us. Growing up in the West as a Muslimah wasn't always easy. You know, of course, you're going to deal with negativity being a Muslim, especially post 9/11. There was a lot of Islamophobia, sexualization of Muslim women, and this idea that Muslim women need saving. Now, I know you must be thinking, Zia, where are you going with all this? No worries. It will all connect and come together. I'm going to also reference a few pop culture topics. Let's take it back to 2019, to my course, Religion, Power, and Sexuality in Arab Societies. Shout out to my professor. She was a real one. The course examines theories of religion, discourse, power, gender, and sexuality and their application to Arab societies. This course introduced different aspects of Arab cultures. Through the canonical works, we study political denomination, tribal social organization, honor, tribe, shame, social loyalty, ritual initiations, and discuss how these issues spoke generally to anthropological inquiry. Regionally specific works are then framed by an additional set of readings that were drawn from anthropological and linguistics and social theories. Now, honey, I know we all have seen the videos of Cardi B in the Middle East saying salam alaikum salam, and other videos bringing awareness to the Middle East and refuting the stereotypes and advocating and reminding people to respect other people's cultures and being respectful and following the laws, customs, and traditions of the country. Now, when I had taken my course, Religion, Power, and Sexuality in Arab Societies, we talked about Cardi B, about her music video for one of her iconic songs, Bodak Yellow. The song is amazing, and it was groundbreaking in her rise to fame. But the music video sparked a lot of controversy because in the video, you see the depiction of, the Middle East and Muslim culture, including the attire like the abaya, headscarf, and a sheer face veil similar to the niqab. In Cardi B's 2017 Bodak Yellow music video, it did drew significant criticism for being Orientalist and perpetuating sexualized stereotypes. Critics, particularly from the Arab and Muslim communities, labeled the video as cultural appropriation, rooted in a Western constructed fantasy of the Middle East. The video was filmed in Dubai and featured imagery like camels as props, men in sheikh-like attire, belly dancers, hookah, money, and diamonds, sexualizing of religious attire. The primary concern was the use of culturally and religiously significant clothing, such as the face veil and abaya, in a seductive and provocative manner as a mere costume. This was seen as using an important piece of clothing intended by many wearers to promote modesty and avoid objectification for the opposite purpose. Misrepresentation. Observers argued that the video was rooted in either complete disregard for Arab culture or just plain ignorance of it, presenting a false and generic representation of both the religion and culture as an exotic other. Now, she may have not meant that, the artist's intent versus impact, while some sources note that Cardi B appeared in and out of the attire to portray her own sexual agency. The consensus among critics was that she was still using the charged clothing as a costume, which, unfortunately contribute to harmful preconceived notions of the region. controversy sparked a wider conversation in hip-hop and media about the problematic nature of such depictions, highlighting double standards and the complexities of cultural appropriation and representation. Woo! Now, let's also talk about Mia Khalifa. Dun, 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 dun. The controversy involving Mia Khalifa. Now, Mia Khalifa is not Muslim. She's actually Christian. So she, in 2014, appeared in I don't know what I can say on YouTube, so I'm trying to not say it without getting banned. A very rated R grown-up film where she wore a hijab, doing some naughty things, sparking widespread anger and condemnation from religious figures in the Arab world for disrespecting a sacred symbol. This also did cause her to be publicly disowned from her parents. And, ironically, this did create an outcry, which created a Streisand effect, which did in return boost her fame in searches for online. But because of this, a lot of Muslims found this deeply offensive and blasphemous, religious and cultural outrage. A lot of writers, religious leaders, and the general public in the Arab world and Muslim world reacted with a lot of anger, viewing it as a discussion of Islamic attire. I want to also talk about, in depth more a little bit, research from the Keene Institute by a piece by Dr. Naveed Bakali on hijab, gendered Islamophobia, and the lived experience of Muslim women. This is just kind of a summary of the article that I had read by them. The article highlights how many Muslim women wear hijab experience heightened fear and anxiety simply for being visibly Muslim, even in their own neighborhoods and familiar spaces. While these fears intensified after major global and political events, they aren't new. They've seen steadily going alongside the rise of nationalism, populism, and anti-Muslim rhetoric in the U.S. and across the rest. What's especially important is how Islamophobia is framed. It isn't just individual prejudice or fear. It's a broader ideological system shaped by politics, imperial history, nationalism, race, and religious bias. And gender plays a huge role in how this shows up. Muslim women experience Islamophobia differently than Muslim men. In dominant Western narratives, hijabi women are often reduced to a single image, either the oppressed victim who needs saving or a threat to liberal values. These stereotypes are then used to justify discrimination, surveillance, and even violence, all while completely ignoring the complexity and agency of Muslim women's real lives. The article uses storytelling as a method centering the voices of Muslim women themselves. Through their stories, hijab becomes more than just a religious symbol. It becomes a lens for understanding how race, religion, gender, and belonging intersect in Western societies. The piece reminds us that hijabi women are not symbols. That hijabi Muslim women are not symbols or political talking points. They are individuals navigating layered forms of racism and exclusion while also exercising faith, resilience, and self-definition in a world that often refuses to see them fully. Now, I also want to talk about fetishization of Muslim women, and this is connecting back to the opening of the episode where I was having with my ukhtis and family member. I've seen non-Muslim men on Muslim marriage apps. Why? From my conversations with them and what I've seen explicitly on their profile is that because they say that, one, Muslim women are so traditional, submissive, soft, feminine, intelligent. They're so clean and they smell so nice. And as a recent person told me, and another person, as my witness and was questioning why are they on a Muslim marriage app, is because, quote, Muslim women are baddies. I hope they don't get upset with me for mentioning this on my episode. But hey, if you're watching, and if this episode gains views, I'll cut you a check, fam. So why is this? Well, it could be non-Muslim men may be interested in Muslim women for a variety of personal reasons, which again often includes an attraction to their traditional values, a sense of curiosity about their culture and religion, or simply general physical and emotional attraction. Again, cited reasons from various discussions and forums include, again, they're attracted to the traditional values. Some non-Muslim men are drawn to the traditional values often associated with Muslim women, such as a focus on family, modesty, and commitment in relationships. Curiosity and new perspectives for some, the interest stems from a genuine curiosity about a different culture and faith. They may enjoy learning about their new perspectives and broadening their understanding of the world. Desire for stability and commitment. Muslim women who practice their faith often seek marriage and stable long-term relationships, which can be appealing to men looking for a serious partner. And then again, the physical attraction, and then also the forbidden appeal. Read between the lines, y'all know what that means. But, in some cases, the fact that a relationship or marriage is traditionally forbidden in Islam can create a certain forbidden fruit appeal or desire to save the woman from a perceived oppressive culture, as noted in some narratives. It's important to note that traditional Islamic law generally prohibits Muslim women from marrying non-Muslim men unless the man converts to Islam. Again, this, religious rule can lead to significant challenges and emotional pain in such relationships due to family interference, cultural expectations, and the woman's own religious beliefs. The fetishization of Muslim women is a persuasive and complex issue rooted in historical, political, and cultural dynamics, involving the reduction of diverse individuals to stereotypes and, again, sexualized objects. This phenomenon is often fueled by Islamophobia, Orientalism, and media representation that constructs an other image of Muslim women as either exotic and mysterious or oppressed and submissive, thereby stripping them of their agency and individuality. Again, the key aspects of fetishization: exoticism, the mysterious other, the oppressed victim trope. In Western liberal circles, Muslim women are often stereotyped as passive, silent victims in need of liberation. This narrative, often centered around the obsession with unveiling the veil, patronizes Muslim women and frames their bodies as battleground for political debates between the Western modernity and Islam. This stereotype ignores the diversity of Muslim women's experience and their agency in choosing how they dress and express their identity. Oh, and also back to the exoticism and mysterism. I know that I came off very passionate about that oppressed victim trope. How can I not? But also I want to add, the exoticism stems from, the idea of conquering the veiled woman, which connects to fetishist themes of power and control. Honey, I don't know if they're on some, what is it called? BDSD? Whatever that sex kink is. But anyways, I want to point out monolith versus diversity. A major problem underlying this issue is the tendency to treat all Muslim women as a single homogeneous group, a monolith. This erases the vast cultural, ethnic, and personal difference among them. Muslim women themselves come from the diverse backgrounds, wear various forms of dresses or none at all, and hold a wide range of views on modesty and faith. And also, gendered Islamophobia and violence. The fetishization is closely linked to the real-world violence and discrimination. Muslim women are often the primary targets of hate crimes because their visible markers of their faith, like the hijab, make them easily identified. In some extreme cases, online platforms and real-world incidents have shown the promotion of sexual violence and auctioning of Muslim women images where their bodies are weaponized as an indirect attack on the entire community. Whew, I know that was a lot and very kind of heated a little bit, but it's a very important topic to talk about and for people to understand. Before I transition into the empowerment of Muslim women, because again, like I said, I know this topic has gotten heavy, I want to pause and acknowledge something important. I am not denying that oppression exists within Muslim communities. There are Muslim women who have experienced harm, coercion, or religious trauma, and their stories absolutely deserve to be heard and taken seriously. At the same time, it's also to note and be honest and fair that religious oppression and trauma are not unique to Islam. We see similar experience across many faiths and cultures, whether that's people leaving the Amish community, certain Mormon sects, or ultra-Orthodox Jewish communities. There are also very visible public figures who have spoken about their own journeys and critiques of religion or culture, like Julia Hart, Deborah Feldman, Ayan Hirsi Ali, Samal Rushdie, Kamal Hassan, Ryan Gosling, Katherine Hegel, all from very different backgrounds, belief systems, and cultures. So when I talk about Islam and Muslim women, I'm not claiming perfection. No religion or culture is immune from misuse or harm. What I am pushing back against is the idea that Muslim women experiences can be reduced to one narrative, or that Islam is uniquely oppressive while everything else gets a pass. With that said, I want to move into something that often gets erased: the agency, the resilience, and the empowerment of Muslim women, especially those who chose their faith and their hijab on their own terms. Now, Dean Squad, I think maybe in 2018, had created a very beautiful empowerment song to Muslim women. I think it was called Muslim Girls. It's a song dedicated to us Muslimas, focusing on what Muslim women have achieved and celebrating all the Muslim women, whether they wear hijab or not, celebrating dark-skinned and light-skinned Muslim women, acknowledging the hardships they face in the West, and also in the Muslim world, highlighting notable famous people like such Khadija bint Radiyallahu anha, Halima, Linda, Neelam, and etc. It's a great song. I hope they put it back on streaming platforms. And I would like to just say this as well before I sign off. Honey, the Begum doesn't need saving. She is happy, she is thriving, she is living, and she is succeeding. I'm not impressed. It's your girl, Zia the Begum, and the mic is on.
Begum, here to stay. In her softness, she paves the way.